Alright guys, today's lesson is section 2.4, and it's all about writing, okay, equations of lines. Alright, and we're going to be doing this lesson out of your workbook. So if you go to, what page is this in your workbook? If you go to page 23 in your workbook, you can kind of follow along and do some of the examples with us, okay? So writing equations of lines. Examples that we're going to talk about today are going to be writing equations of lines if you're given the slope and you're given the y-intercept, which should be very familiar to everybody, because if you're given slope and intercept, what you're going to do is you're always going to use this formula right here. You're always going to use the slope-intercept form, all right, when you're writing the equation of those lines, okay? And we all know that the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where your m is your slope, your rise over your run, and your b is your y-intercept, where your line is going to cross your y-axis, okay? So all we're going to do for these examples is we're going to take and we're going to substitute in for those two variables. We're not going to change the y, and we're not going to change the x, okay? So the first one, your m value is 3, your b value is -4. So we would write it this way, y equals, then we would come over here, we know that my slope comes next, and in our example we have 3 as our slope. So we're going to put 3x, all right, plus, because we have an addition sign, and now we're going to put in our y-intercept, which we know is -4, okay? We have y equals 3x plus a -4. Let's simplify that, and let's write it in proper mathematical form. We got y equals 3x minus 4. Okay? Putting in slope-intercept is the best way to do it, because it's probably the easiest way to go ahead and graph a linear equation, to graph a line. Okay? All right, let's take a look at number 2 here. Y equals, my m comes first, so I'm going to put -4x plus, and then I put my y-intercept, which is 0. All right, simplify this one. Y equals -4x, and we know that 0 plus anything is always going to be, okay, again, 5 plus 0 is 5, 7 plus 0 is 7, and so on and so forth. Okay, y equals, my m value this time is a 0, so I'm going to put 0x plus -5. All right, what's 0 times anything, guys? Well, we know it's 0, so we get y equals 0 minus 5. So y is equal to -5. All right, now this one should look familiar to us, because when we talk about graphing vertical lines and horizontal lines, we know that this one is going to cross my y-axis at -5. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a horizontal line for this one. And another way we know that is because of this up here. We know for horizontal lines, our slope is equal to 0. Okay? That right there, guys, using the slope-intercept form. All right, let's go to examples 4 down here. All right, these ones say, write the equation of a line that passes through the given point and has the given slope. So take a look at what we got here. A point and a slope, just like this example, a point and a slope. So for this one, what we're going to use is we're going to use the point-slope form. Okay? And all these forms, guys, are pretty much named for what you're given. Slope-intercept has the slope and the intercept. Point-slope has the point and the slope. All right? This formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right? The things that we're going to replace, that's what we're going to replace, slope. And another thing that we're going to replace is this, your x1 and your y1. So we're going to replace this and this. Okay? So you see we have 3 things to replace, and in this example right here, we have an m value, and we have an x, and we have a y. Now this one right here, your point, is going to be your x1 and your y1. Okay, so we're going to take these 3 things and we're going to substitute them into this formula. So y minus what is your y1 value? Just go in order now, and we know my y1 value is 3 right here. So y minus 3 equals 1, and then you do x minus your x1 value, which in this example is 4. All right? So this right here, guys, this is the equation of the line in point-slope form. However, all right, what we want to do is we want to take and we want to turn this one into slope-intercept. All right, what do we have to do to get it into y equals mx plus b? All right, well, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and get y by itself. So first we have to simplify on this side by distribution. All right, we'd end up with y minus 3 equals 1x minus 4. Then I would take and I would add 3 here, add 3 here, and I end up with y equals, what is an easier way to write this, guys? Should be y equals x minus 1. All right, and now we are in slope-intercept form. Okay, this up here was point-slope form, and then we transformed it into slope-intercept form. Let's do number 6 together. All right, point-slope form, since you're given a point and you're given a slope. M value is 0. This is your x1. This is your y1. And let's go ahead and let's put it in. Y minus 4 equals 0, and then you got x minus 12. All right, point-slope form. Turn it into slope-intercept by distributing and distributing. So we end up with y minus 4 equals 0x minus 0. All right, we know that all of this over here is going to equal 0. Okay, you can't have a 0x because 0 times anything is 0. We're just going to take, we're going to add the 4, we're going to add the 4, and we end up with y equals 4. Now this shouldn't surprise us because look at what we have up here. Just like we talked about, we know my slope is 0, so we're going to have a horizontal line again. Okay, and it crosses your y-axis at the value of 4. Okay? All right, number 8. Let's take a look at number 8 here. All right, same idea. You're given a point, you're given a slope. All right, x1, y1, and you got your slope there. So, y minus negative 2. All right, and you see what I had to do there? I had to take this, oh, I screwed that up. Sorry, guys. I'm going to erase this. What was I supposed to put in for my y1 value? I was supposed to put a 1/2, right? Equals 8 times x minus, and what is my x1 value? Well, it's a negative 2. So I substitute in as a negative 2. We know that this right here becomes a positive 2. And we're going to take and we're going to distribute 8 here, and we're going to distribute it here. So we're going to be left with this. Y minus 1/2 equals 8x plus 16. Let's add 1/2. Add 1/2 over here. We get y equals 8x plus 16 1/2. Okay, this up here, point-slope form. This one down here, slope-intercept form. Okay. All right, last couple examples here. I'm going to do number 10, and I'm going to do number 11. All right, what it wants us to do for these ones is it wants to write the equation of a line that passes through the point and satisfies the given conditions. All right, so we're trying to write the equation of a line that is parallel to this one. All right, so in this one right here, what is my slope equal to for that one? Well, we all know that my slope is right here, so my slope is 4. All right, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to write the equation of a line that's parallel to that one. So if we have a line that's parallel to that one, what does my slope have to be? We know that parallel lines are lines that never, ever, ever intersect, so they have the exact same slope. So my parallel slope is going to be 4, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this point right here. All right, slope and point. we should start off with this formula right here. That is your point slope form. Okay, so let's label x1 and y1, and let's start writing our equation. Y minus, what comes next? Should put 3 there. Slope comes next, and then you got x minus a negative 2. Alright, y minus 3. We know that this becomes a plus, and we know we have to take and distribute this here and here. Alright, we get y minus 3 equals 4x plus 8, add 3, add 3. I get y is equal to 4x plus 11. Alright, this was in point slope form, and then we were asked to go ahead and turn it into slope intercept form. So, we know that parallel lines have the same slope. Okay? Now, what if we're talking about the equation of a line that is perpendicular to this one? Well, what's my slope here? My slope is equal to 2. So what's the slope of a perpendicular line? Well, we know that they're going to be opposite. So if this one's positive, I got to make it negative, and they're going to be reciprocals. So if this is 2 over 1, my reciprocal is going to be that. This is the slope that I'm going to use. Okay? Alright. X1, Y1, and let's go ahead and let's start writing it out. Y, now instead of a minus negative 4, we know it's going to be Y plus 4 equals negative 1/2. And then you got X minus a negative 1. You got plus 1 there. Y plus 4 is equal to negative 1/2 X minus 1/2. Okay, let's go ahead and let's subtract 4. Oh, let me move it down real quick. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract 4, and I'm going to subtract 4. I get y equals negative 1/2 x, and then you got minus 4 and 1/2. Okay, so that's day 1 right there, guys, of writing the equation of lines. Hopefully after today you went ahead and you realized what slope-intercept form is, when to use it, and point-slope form is when to use it, and then how to transform that into slope-intercept form. All right, we'll come back tomorrow. We'll talk about section 2.4, and then we'll do day 2 with that.